Hello folks, so today we are going to be learning some edits that we're going to be applying to our compositional rules photos. You're going to pick 5 of your photos from your contact sheet of 25, and then we are going to be doing some more black and white edits as well as some new color edits. Okay, so you're gonna go into Bridge, you're gonna find your compositional rules sheet. These were some example photos, so I'm gonna go back and just to grab some of my other photos. Your photos were from the Chicago Botanical Garden, so I'm gonna try to pick something a little more botanical here. So if I go ahead, double click on maybe one of these photos. I'm gonna go ahead, pull this up. You know what? I'm gonna use one of my photos that I already have up here. So you could see I already have some layers set onto this photo. Everything that I've done with this photo is pretty basic. I'm gonna go ahead and I am going to delete these so that I can show you how I did these steps myself. Oops. Alright, so first things first is you can get to your adjustment layers through here if you're looking at the same screen that I am. If you're not looking at this screen, you can go up to Window, Workspace. If it says Essentials, you should be good, and then you can go to Reset Essentials, and it'll just kind of bring you back to the very basic here. So just kind of resized the things that I have over here. Adjustments you can go to here. You can also get to them from the black and white cookie down here. We are going to select the solid color tool, and then it's going to show you something like this. So it just kind of put this solid color over my image here. Now I'm going to think about a color that I want to overlay over this. So if I'm thinking about like floral and botanical things, I'm thinking probably of like a nice warm day. So I'm gonna pick like a nice warm color, maybe one that's a little bit more natural so it's not too saturated. Then, you know, I kind of already knew what I wanted. If I was doing more of like a winter scene, maybe I would pick like a cooler color to kind of embrace the coolness. But like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and do a nice warm color, something like this. And then I'm gonna go ahead and hit OK. Now if I go over with this layer highlighted, and I know what it is because I have the white lines around the box, I can go over here to opacity, and then I'm going to change it to 20, okay? And then now I can double click on this, and if I wanna kind of change the color, make it maybe lighter, maybe I wanna make it more of an orangey type of tint rather than a yellow or a gold, I can go ahead and do that. If I want to make it more of a saturated color or more of a true color, I can go closer to this corner. I can make it a little more gray, or in this case brown. I personally liked this. I thought that was nice and warm, so I could go ahead and hit OK. Then, just like with your other photos, you're going to go ahead and balance those levels. So just kind of playing around with the contrast of the photo. I think I could bring out some darker values in there. And then of course down here you can kind of play with the level of contrast. I personally like a little bit of a darker photo, so that's my preference. So that's all you're gonna do for your color, your solid color adjustment layer. You're gonna see something that says color fill here, levels, and then you should have an end product that looks something like this. Okay, so then you would go ahead, file, save. You would save it into in your compositional rules folder. You're probably going to want to make a new folder, so I need to go ahead and do that. Compositional rules, new folder, and then I'm going to say I'll say compositional rules edits, okay? All right, then if I go back here, I'm gonna go find Digiphoto, find my compositional rules folder, open that up, and then save here. Then I'm going to want to go ahead and file, export as, make sure that this says JPEG. At this point, everyone should. And then I'm going to go ahead and export that. Make sure I'm saving it to the same location. And then just like always, I'll have my, in my edits folder, I'll have my JPEG and my PSD. And yours should be named with your compositional rule names, and you can just leave that as that, okay? All right, then the next edit you're going to do, so I have this photo here. You're going to be doing a gradient map. So we're gonna do this in like a very basic way. All right, so you can go ahead and get to your gradients in this way by going up to this screen here. So you go to gradients. I'm gonna go down to my pastels. I'm looking for this one. I already have it selected up here, so I can just drag and drop that. And then it's going to give me my gradient controls over here. So I can kind of pick whether or not I want it to kind of radiate from the like middle, and you can see it's kind of radiating from the middle bottom, like a split screen. I don't really want that. I want more of a smoother transition. Then I can change the angle at which it's going through. So if I change it to like a 45, then it's kind of going at a diagonal. Noise, you're gonna just want to keep it on solid. And then down here you can change how much, didn't mean to grab that one. You can change how much per, like of which side of the gradient. And I want more of the orange rather than the purple. And then again on this layer I can go here and change my opacity, and maybe I'll turn up the opacity on this one, maybe like a 25. Gives the photo a little bit more of like a vintage type of feel. And then again you'll go ahead into your adjustment layers, go to your levels, and then here you can kind of mess with some things. I like this a little bit darker because it brings out the black of the red-winged blackbird. Then just make sure I'm balancing out so it's not too contrasty. Keep that, bump this down maybe just a little bit, and then get that into, you just have an edit that you like. All right, and then that's how you do the gradient map. So you can go ahead, file, again, just repeat the process, file, save as, make sure that you're saving to your edits folder, and then file, export as, and then make sure that's going to the same place. Okay, so that is how to do a gradient map, how to do a color filter. Now, last thing I'm going to show you, I need to find a new photo for this. I want you to find a photo that you like from your pictures that maybe is like a little bit off center, or it's not completely balanced, or there's something weird in the corner that you just want to crop out. Maybe you had like a really nice photo that you liked, but there was something weird going on in the background. So, find a good example for myself. Okay, so I have this photo of these two birds. There's kind of a lot going on this side of the image. Maybe I want to crop this down so that I can have less distraction over here. So you're gonna go to your crop tool, and then it's gonna show you this window that's much like the crop tool on your phone. So you can just kind of go ahead and adjust this. down. And then if you hit enter on your keyboard or return, it'll then resize the image. And then another thing that I want to show you is how to straighten an image. So here's this little ruler icon right here. And then if you draw a line on your image, so I have this selected, I know that I have it selected because I see this bar down here. If you draw a line, it will rebalance your image and re-tilt it. So mine was already pretty balanced, so it just made mine tilty, but maybe I want to make this like the straight across line, so then I could just go ahead, oops. Cancel. And then I can go ahead, click this, and then balance it the opposite way. Resize that. Now that's not the best option, but if I wanted my image more like that, that could be another way too. I think that looks funky, but just as an example, that is a way that you could crop and resize your image. So again, cropping it, I want to cut out all of these distracting sticks and logs in the background. And then the straighten tool is just this one down here, and you can draw a line to straighten however you see fit. Alright, so in your 5 images, you are going to have one that is cropped and straightened if it needs to be straightened, one that has a color gradient, just like this one, and then one that has a color, solid color filter, just like this one. Your other 2 photos are going to be same as LST, so black and white edit. And then this last photo, after you crop it, I'll just let you kind of do free choice on any of these. You can repeat a black and white, you can repeat a gradient, or you can go ahead and repeat a color fill. Okay? All right. That is it for this tutorial. And if you need to review any of the black and white stuff, you can go back to the LST tutorial, and that will cover everything from that. All right. Thanks.